Is Atari pulling away support for the VCS? Is it slowly dying? Is it on its last legs? Let's talk about it. Recently, someone pointed me to this video from Treefall Studios called The State of Atari VCS Development in 2025. This was posted on July 25th. Now, previously, he made this other video. I don't know if you can see it. It says developers are sleeping on the Atari VCS. He made this point. Yes, it's a niche system, but if you're a developer, you put your game on the VCS, it's going to get a lot of eyeballs on it from all the owners. They're a very dedicated bunch. You know, they tend to buy a lot of the games. Kind of like being a small fish in a small pond, but you're the only fish, so people see you, if that kind of makes sense. So he was trying to push people to develop for it, but now he's saying, hold on, they made some changes, it's not so good. For one thing, he says in this video that he had some games that were supposed to come out and the store went down. That was a big problem. It was a mess. From what I understand, the VCS store is fixed with a recent patch. But he said, like, my games still haven't shown up. I don't know what's going on. And then he said he got an email. He couldn't go into details because of an NDA, but he basically said they changed the royalty payment structure. And he went on and said a little bit more, where he says this. Let's see, I have it right here actually. I feel like I need to make another update because I'm not sure it was super clear to everyone from the video. The change to the payment royalty payout I mentioned in this video is so bad that in my opinion, I'm not sure anyone will be getting paid royalties again or for at least a while. It really feels like they might be going under with the changes being made, and they plan on floating the cash they owe developers for other expenses. Just 2 cents. If you put a game on this platform, do not expect to see any money from it. So it sounds like if you're a dev and you put a game on this, you're going to be waiting a long time to get paid. And if that's your main source of income, that's not a good thing. Almost like Atari, shuffling money around and saying, you know what? VCS is not that important to us. You know what is important? The Atari 2600 plus, the Atari 7800 plus, the Royal Coaster Tycoon series. Like, this is not our main focus, and that shouldn't surprise anyone. Wade Rosen, who is now the head of Atari, he inherited the VCS. I don't believe he's a big fan of the VCS, but they have supported it for almost 5 years now, which is surprising when there was a time when people thought it wouldn't come out, but the Intellivision Amico would, yet here we are. Now it's been out for over 4 years, no Intellivision Amico system. But nonetheless, I have a VCS. I like it for what it is. I bought it cheap. I wouldn't have paid a lot of money, and I probably wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't for Atari. It does have some cool games on it, but it doesn't have, in my opinion, enough exclusives to keep it going. I do like the spinny controller with some of the games, but for the most part, I think that most people are like, well, I could just get the games elsewhere. There is a dedicated fan base, but I don't know it's enough to keep Atari's interest. Let's see what they talked about it in their latest financial report, which they just released at the end of July. The Atari VCS, available since December 2020, is an open PC home console which offers direct access to many popular streaming services, as well as third-party content, exclusive Atari content, and retro gaming content. And I'll stop right there for a second. Atari has stopped putting their own games on the VCS. I don't think the new Missile Command game was made for the VCS. I think one of the last games they made was like the Breakout game, which I previously reviewed, and there may have been another one. But like even the games they're announcing, I think, iRobot may have been the last one they put on. So, but it goes on. Atari's looking at ways to continue the development of the VCS community and make the platform compatible with additional hardware configurations. So it's like, what I read into this is we want to keep the VCS owners happy, keep it working and going, but it doesn't sound like they want to put much more into it. And maybe secretly they're like, you know what? Maybe there's people at Atari who are just like, we don't even want to mess with this. We have these fans that we're trying to keep happy. So maybe, and this is just speculation, maybe they're like, well, we'll make it tougher for devs or less, exciting for devs because we're not making a lot of money on it. So we'll do this longer royalty payment thing, and maybe over time support will dry up. We'll get less games put in, and eventually it'll just die and go away. It's on its own. I almost get the feeling that Atari wants the VCS to go, which would be a bummer for the VCS fans. But hey, the system's been out for almost 5 years, and like I said, it's beat the Intellivision Amico, that never came out. Who would have thought about that? So just my thoughts. I do think I would be surprised if the Atari VCS is still being actively supported by Atari beyond 2026. I think what they'll probably do is continue supporting it with updates here and there. But if there's any big, bugs or anything that comes around, like the store crashing, they might pull out and say, you know what, we're ending support of the system, or we're giving support over to the fans, or something like that. So, I mean, let's be honest, most of us didn't think the Atari VCS would last as long as it did. So that's just my thoughts. Do you think the Atari VCS will last beyond this year or even next year? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.